Hello there and welcome to the Real Madrid versus Liverpool Champions League preview, the very first leg. And apologies for not doing it yesterday. I was meant to do it yesterday, but I actually lost my voice yesterday, so I just couldn't do anything. But I'm actually really glad that it was almost like fate in a way. I'm glad that I was able to wait. A, because Klopp did his press conference last night as well, and also, literally within 10 minutes of me coming home, we've had some breaking news in terms of Real Madrid and the team lineup there as well. So we'll go through all of that and we'll go through all my thoughts and everything, what lineup I feel we will go for or what I would like us to go for as well. Go through possibly a predicted lineup for Real Madrid as well, and then my thoughts on the whole tie in general. Now, what I want to do first of all is actually we're going to head to Twitter and we're going to look at This Is Anfield and the press conference last night. So basically, a lot of it started off with 2018. If you've lived under a rock and you didn't know, we played Real Madrid in the Champions League final in Kiev, which was Cristiano Ronaldo's last match against Real Madrid, and also, yeah, Carriers. Let's forget about that one for now. So I'll go through everything that Klopp says here, give my thoughts on anything that I read. Of course, when we got the draw, I thought of that game. I said at the time that if I were asked to invite Sergio Ramos to my 60th birthday, I would have said no. I prepare my team for tomorrow to show how good a football team we are. I heard Real Madrid is the favourite. Great, we are used to the role of a challenger, and it also sometimes benefits, a team if you are looked at as a challenger, because if you win the game, it's great, it's fantastic, and you've upset the odds. If you are viewed as the challenger and you lose the game, then really people shouldn't be surprised because you were the challenger. Those were the favourites and they'd done their job essentially. So really it's a sort of win-win sort of game for Liverpool. One that I do hope that we actually do go on and win. I want to show our fans that we are still fighting this season. We want to get whatever's possible out of this season. I don't believe in revenge, but we want to get through to the next round. We are not here for revenge. And I think that's really, really something that's quite clear, and something that I would like to make clear for myself as well, is that most of the build-up for a lot of other fan channels and a lot of other maybe, Twitter accounts and stuff like that, or things in the media, Liverpool looking for revenge and blah, 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 blah. I couldn't care less about revenge. Not a lot of people think like I do, and I'm not a special person or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that I'm special, but quite literally, once a football game has ended, no matter what magnitude, whether it's the first game of a season or it's a Champions League final, I give myself 5 to 10 minutes, think about it, process it, and move on. And it's done. It's out the way. It's absolutely gone out of my system. It's not something that buries me. People talk about like that they can't really handle football banter and stuff like that. It's people were I remember getting bantered like hell when I went back to work about Carriers bowling the ball out to Benzema and stuff like that as well. It happens. It happens. You just get over it. Process it. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. This is a brand new opportunity with a lot of different players in this team than faced Real Madrid last time as well. And I think the very same goes for Real Madrid as well. It's going to be quite a different team in some respects. There's going to be some familiar faces for sure. But let's have a look at that right now. Now, what we can look at here is ignore SofaScore's predicted team, because I don't think this is how we're going to line up. Maybe we might line up like this at first, but I think there could be some changes here. But I want to show what I would like to see as well. In terms of Real Madrid, you might be looking at like Eder Militao and Nacho Fernandez and wondering what's going on. Well, obviously Sergio Ramos is out injured and he actually could possibly miss both legs of this game. But literally at about 10 to 1, and I'm recording this at 1:05 on Tuesday afternoon. Literally, Rafael Varane has tested positive for COVID-19, so Varane isn't actually available either. Now, a lot of Liverpool Twitter's already exploded with, we need to make this count, we need to go out there and absolutely pummel them. I still don't think that, Militao, whether he's played a lot for Real Madrid or not, was very, very good when he was at Porto. I believe that was his former club. He was a very, very good player there. There is obviously a very good player in there. Whether he's experienced in this lineup or not, that's neither here nor there. Whoever they put in there, Nacho Fernandez as well, he's no slouch. He's no Ramos, but neither are any of them. It's like you could say that about some of our players. They're not a Van Dijk and such. But whoever they put there, they will probably be doing their best to keep us out, just as likes of Nat Phillips have done for us and Kabak as well. They've got some very dangerous players, but some very familiar players as well. That midfield three of Modric, Casemiro, and Toni Kroos, that is going to be, that's going to take some stopping. Primarily Modric and Kroos, because they both of them are such. While Modric is much more mobile, they both have killer passes, vision. They've got very good vision. They've got quick forwards as well. Maybe not the quickest forwards in the world, but they've got quick forwards as well. Benzema seems to be having an absolute madness this season, and he's scoring a lot of goals as well for Real Madrid. He's a very, very good outlet for them. Still, after so many years, seems to reinvent himself and get himself back into the goals. It's quite something to see. Ferland Mendy and Lucas Vazquez as your fullbacks. I didn't realise that Vazquez was playing as a fullback these days. I thought he was more of a wide player, depending on how they're going to play. And the people that they are missing now, for us, Jordan Henderson's not on this list anymore, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's something there, but from what I remember, Jordan Henderson is out. Like, he won't. I don't think he'll be available. I haven't seen anything to say that he will be. But they will be missing Eden Hazard. But to be fair, Hazard hasn't really done anything at Real Madrid, and that's no disrespect to him. That is literally just the facts of Hazard. Valverde, midfielder, Carvajal, Sergio Ramos, and now Rafael Varane as well. So they've got some big misses as well, just like we have. But I still think this is going to be a competitive game. It's going to be, something to really get our teeth into as well. What I wanted to look at as well, briefly, is just a couple of things about Real Madrid. So you can see in their last 10 matches, they've won 8 times, drawn twice. They haven't lost in their last 10 matches as well. Read into that what you will. It's just the facts as they are, as I can see them on the screen. But what you will notice as well is that they're not necessarily scoring the biggest amount of goals. The biggest goal margin that they've had is 3-1 in 2 different games. 2-0 over here, 2-1, 1-1, 1-1. They're not scoring the most amount of goals, but they are getting results in some way. They're either winning games by 1 goal, maybe 2 goals in some instances, or they're drawing games. They're not losing games at the moment. They've actually clawed a lot of ground back in La Liga as well. They're now 3 points away from Atletico Madrid, who are sinking like a stone in La Liga. They really, really are. They had such a commanding lead at one point, or at least a good 7 to 10 point lead on everybody else, and they're just sinking at the moment. And now it looks like a very real three horse race between Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out for the rest of the season as well. So, but what I also wanted to look at as well was in terms of lineups, because you've got 2 different ones. I want to look at the game against Celta Vigo and the game against Eibar as well. This, they've set up in a 4-3-1-2. Similar sort of thing that we did when we played against West Ham, and we won 3-1 in that game. And you know what? That's something that I could totally see them playing, possibly against us. It just depends on the personnel that they're actually going to use, because in this lineup here, they've got players in this lineup that you can see would be missing, likes of Varane and Valverde as well. Obviously, Karim Benzema is going to be the danger man. He's going to be the guy that I look at as that's who you need to keep quiet in terms of getting in front of goal. But the people that you need to keep quiet is Toni Kroos and is Luka Modric, because those are the guys that are going to be trying to feed Benzema and whoever else, whether it's Vinicius or whoever else they might have, Asensio. Then we look at the lineup that they had against Eibar, and they actually played with 3 at the back, with Ferland Mendy doubling up as one of the centre-backs, Vazquez playing out on like what would be possibly a right wing or a right mid or a right wing back, whatever it might be, Marcelo as well. It's a bit of a different formation, not one that I've really seen, but you know what? It seemed to work against Eibar. I'm not sure where Eibar are in La Liga. I didn't look just before, but still, it worked for them, and it also shows that they've got some tactical flexibility as well, which is something that we have, and I'm quite happy for us to have that as well. But one thing that you've got to look at in terms of the Champions League and the ratings and stuff like that, the highest rated players are the people that you would expect. The likes of a Modric, Carvajal, Ramos, Benzema, Marcelo, wouldn't actually expect that. But Toni Kroos as well. They've got, Odegaard doesn't count because he's at Arsenal right now. But it's, most of the people that are going to be in the starting 11, apart from those that are injured or out, they're highly rated. They are, and I want to see what are the. So Benzema has scored 5 goals. Most of the goals, if anything, will come from Benzema. Obviously, Sergio Ramos isn't going to be playing, but everybody else has just got 1 goal. He is their carrying goal threat, their main goal threat. And if we can keep him quiet, as well as keeping the other lads quiet, Modric and where is he? Modric and Toni Kroos. I assume Toni Kroos is going to be using the other lineup. So yeah, that is what I'm looking at, is keeping those 2 quiet in terms of passing. Hopefully, if we go with, tell you what my lineup is in just a second, but if we can get enough threats to possibly not an inexperienced back line, but a back line that hasn't partnered together very, very much because of, Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane, maybe we could have some joy, but we shouldn't just expect it. We need to work for it. We will need to work for it anyway. So let me know what your thoughts are so far about this game. I know a lot of people will be buzzing and have a little bit more, maybe a bit more confidence because they're going to be missing Varane, another high-profile defender for Real Madrid. But, we can't take anything for granted in this one here. And what I wanted to look at, it's going to look like a similar sort of lineup that I put out before, but I've seen it work. We've all seen it work. It absolutely worked brilliantly against Arsenal. Real Madrid aren't Arsenal. I'm fully aware of that, but I fully believe this is something that we should go for. I really think that we should go for something like this. The only difference that I would bring into this team, if there was going to be a difference, is if you find a way of getting Gini Wijnaldum in here as well. Because at the moment, I don't actually know who would be captain. So maybe that is where we maybe do start with the 4-3-3. And you have 3 in midfield, Fabinho, Thiago and Wijnaldum. And someone out of Jota and Firmino, one of them drops out. Now, if we do that, no offence to Firmino, but I would have Jota up front because he's just so much more of a goal-scoring threat than Firmino. And that's no disrespect to Firmino. I love Firmino as a player, but I love him more as someone that's able to pick those passes through the spaces as well. Like, look, he can probably find, with his skills and also his passing ability, he'd be able to find spaces and provide for Mane, provide for Salah, provide for Jota. That is what I would love him to be used for, and that's why I love this formation here. And I think it just could be totally vital. I would have Thiago in this midfield over Gini Wijnaldum purely based on not just experience, but his level of passing could really help us a lot in the final third and in the second third of the pitch as well. Getting control of the ball against their midfield as well. The other reason why we might start with 3 in midfield is to combat their midfield, quite literally. I love this lineup, obviously, because that's why I chose it. I love this lineup. I think it gives us goal-scoring threats. I think it gives us defensive solidity as well. And I've got no reason to believe or to think why we wouldn't change from something that was so successful at the weekend that we've just had. They've had a very positive result. 3 goals, clean sheet. Very, very positive result in that respect. I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. Let me know what you think in the comments below about what your lineup would be. Any changes that you would make. For me, I feel we should go as strong as possible in this game. I know that we've got Aston Villa at the weekend, but we've just got to take it game by game and do as much as we can in this game as well. So what I want to look at as well, well, not even look at, let's have a look at score prediction. How's it going to go down tonight? Honestly, I was actually looking at possibly a 2-2 in my mind. Before I heard the Rafael Varane news, I was thinking it could be 2-2. Liverpool, whatever happens, need to score. They need to score at least 1 goal, maybe even a couple of goals if they can, because we are the away team in this fixture. So getting an away goal is absolutely crucial. So just whatever happens, even if you end up losing the game 2-1, but then if you go home, you don't concede at home, but maybe you score a goal, you've got the advantage. It's a bit of a what is the word? It's a bit of a shithouse way to go through. If you do that, but you give yourself such a bit more of a leg up if you can get an away goal. If you can get 2 away goals, then brilliant. And if you can keep a clean sheet when you're away from home, it just gives you that much more confidence that you can shut it out in the second leg when you play at home, maybe even finish it off, score a goal there as well. For me, I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool can do it. I'd love it if we keep a clean sheet in Europe with Nat Phillips, Kabak, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson. I think, and Alisson in goal as well with that beautiful moustache. Love it. If we can keep a clean sheet against Real Madrid, it'd be a real statement of intent for what we want to do in the second leg as well, and that we really are looking to go as far as we can in this competition. I believe that we can do it. I just think that Benzema, being the goal threat that he is, could be quite difficult to contain. But we'll have to see what happens tonight, tonight, 8 o'clock. Cannot wait. Honestly, cannot wait. It's such a challenge to come up against a team like Real Madrid, the 13-time champions against the 6-time champions of Europe. But I'm looking forward to it. I think that Liverpool are hopefully going to start to find themselves in a bit of a groove where we just try and get some good positive results and we do the best that we can. And I feel that we can do that. I feel that we can do that whatever formation that we set up in and whatever players are involved as well. We've got, for the first time in a long time, we can have options from the bench as well. Guys like Shaqiri, you could, Milner, Divock Origi if he's fit and available as well. You've got different options that can make an impact as well and change the way that we play. I think that we've got a good chance here of getting a good result against Real Madrid. So come on, Liverpool. Honestly, cannot wait. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe. If you're new around here, please do feel free to get your comments in the comment section below. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go and sleep for a bit, and then I'm going to get ready for the match tonight. Do take care of yourselves. Have a good day, and I'll catch you later.